Start off with an intro. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Naama Sagal Karis, your Betterment Life Partnership Coach. What does that mean? It means I have created a modality of life coaching that centers specifically on language. I love words and I love language and I love the power of language to change lives and to change the way we think about our life. We have the ability to change our inner narrative with new language. And in order for that to work well, it means that we need to actually change the words that we're using. And that's what Betterment Life coaching is about. It's about changing the words you use so that your language is supporting growth. Your language is supporting growth. Now, it just so happens that my specialty is partnership coaching. And that means I coach people who are partnered and pre-partnered. What does that mean? Pre-partnered means you just haven't found the partner that you're looking for yet. But the truth of the matter is, everyone's partnered. We're all partnered. We have partners all the time. It just so happens that those partners are our parent, our child, our sibling, our someone at the grocery store, our coworker, our boss, our peer, someone at church. We have partners all over the place. So I'm going to explain what that means. And then we're going to get into my 10 secrets. 10 secrets. 10 secrets to effective communication with instant results. And I'm dead serious. Instant results. Why? Because I want you to be able to communicate effectively to your partner and to whoever it is that you need to communicate with. So that's extremely important to me. I want you to be happy. I want you and your partner to be happy. And I want you to be ready to be partnered with someone. And you can't be partnered with someone and be ready to do that if you aren't able to communicate well. So that's my intro. Next thing I'm going to do is remind people you can find me at www.naamasagal.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On Facebook, I'm at Naama Sagal Coaching. On Instagram, I am at Naama Sagal, and on Twitter, I am Life Coach Naama. And you can find all of that on my website. I also invite you to please, please, please join me on my podcast. Take a listen. I've got some instructionals that I'm working on for how to become a better communicator, how to be a better partner, how to love yourself, all through language and the language that you're using. So please join me in that. I am not currently taking on life coaching clients because, as you can probably tell, I'm building a human and that's almost finished. And so I'm not going to be available to do a whole lot of coaching right after. But check in with me May 1st. We'll be changing that up and you'll be able to start booking once the summer comes. Now, let's get into the 10 secrets. These secrets are going to work beautifully with your partner, whether it's a marriage partner, dating partner, work partner, business partner, doesn't matter. But for the instance of this free workshop, we're going to talk specifically about partnership that's like a romantic partnership, whether it's, heteronormative or not, gender is irrelevant. These techniques work on everybody. All right, here we go. Top 10 secrets for better partnership communication. All right, so then I'm going to have my document open, wherever the fuck I put that. I'm also going to have to, let me see here. I also have to remind people that if they sign up for my newsletter, I need to drop the link in the chat. So if they go to my website and they click sign up, that I can add them to my, newsletter, and I need to give them a link. Okay. All right. So Okay, so let's do this. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to get started with the top 10 secrets. But before we do, I would love for you all to participate in these free workshops as often as I have them. And so I am planning on having a lot of this information disseminated in my email, in my newsletter. It's called The Conversation. If you'd like to be signed up for my newsletter, The Conversation, I'm going to drop a link in the chat right now, and that'll be made available to you. So you are welcome to sign up for that newsletter. It's once a week, really simple, not complicated. And I'm going to have an ECT in there, an effective communication technique that you can use to instantly change a communication that you've got going on, as well as a fun story, maybe something inspirational, potentially a video, and a link to the most recent episode of my podcast. Please enjoy. And let's get into some secrets. And please understand, I'm a former special education teacher. If you want to interrupt me, interrupt me. It's fine. Just type it in the chat. Not a problem. And let's get into it. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. I have 10 points. I'm going to go really fast. Again, it's a free workshop. This is a taste. It's a teaser of some of the work that I do. And if you had me coach you before, please type it in the chat. Let people know how my techniques work for you. But let's get into the top 10 secrets. First and foremost, here's the scenario. Ready? Here's the scenario. The scenario is you and your partner are going to sit down. You both have something you want to say, and it's pretty important. So step number one, secret number one to making sure this goes off well is assume positive intent. Go into this conversation assuming that the both of you love each other, care about each other, respect each other, honor each other, and have patience and tolerance for each other. Walk into the conversation with that assumption. Assume positive intent. Assume that whatever is said from a place of love and compassion, not that someone's trying to get you, not that someone's out to get you, that you're the villain. Assume positive intent. Pretty simple, right? I cannot tell you the number of times that I personally, in my first marriage, would constantly assume that my ex-husband was trying to trick me, get me, hurt me, harm me, insult me, just by opening his mouth and asking, like, what's for dinner? Not a good look. So assume positive intent. Okay? Really, really simple. I know it's hard because it goes against how society's ingrained us to be. We've been trained through trauma response to be suspicious of people. Don't feed into it. 2, ready? Secret number 2. And anyone who signs up for my email list will get a copy of this amazing handout that I built for y'all. So you only get it if you sign up for the email. Secret number 2, get grounded first. You can't have a healthy conversation unless the both of you are in a place of being grounded. What does being grounded mean? It means take 3 deep breaths. And this is literally how I want you to do it. Hand on heart, hand on belly, if you have 2 hands free. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose, in for 5, out for 10, like this. Do this 3 times. I guarantee you it's really hard to stay furiously angry after you've done this. And you're not going into this conversation furiously angry anyway. Like, that's not the goal, right? Okay, so now you've assumed positive intent. You are now grounded, the both of you, having done this breathing. I don't care if it feels ridiculous, do it anyway. Now, rule number 3. No, 3. My hands are being weird, whatever. Rule number 3, okay? 3. Ensure that you're both ready. Are you both ready mentally, emotionally, physically? Have you eaten enough? Have you fed and watered yourself? We are plants with emotions. Have a glass of water, cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever. Have a snack so that your blood sugar's even. Have you had enough rest to express yourself in this conversation? Have they had enough rest to process and receive this information? If the answer to these questions is no, don't proceed. don't go yet. They're not going to be ready to receive this information with you. Okay. So you both need to be mentally, physically, and emotionally ready. Okay. All right. So get yourselves both ready and be in a space of neutrality and safety. That means maybe you need to leave the house. Maybe you need to sit in the car. Maybe you need to go walk to the park. Maybe you need to go sit at Starbucks. Maybe you need to be on neutral ground. I don't care where you need to be as long as you're both safe, but you need to be in a physical space of safety and sanity. The environment in which we speak helps dictate what kind of conversation we have. If you're in a very chaotic space, a video arcade, I know I'm dating myself, a video arcade, a mall full of people, Walmart on Christmas Eve, like these are not places you want to have meaningful conversations. I'm sorry, it's just not. A movie theater, you don't want to do that. You want to be in an environment that is calm, quiet, and safe for both of you. Okay. So you need to check in and be like, hey, is this a good space for us to talk? And you both need to be honest when you answer. All right. Secret number 4. Are we ready? Number 4. When you're ready to start talking and you open your mouth, always use I statements. So I'm going to use this example of the dishes because it seems to be the thing that all partnerships end up like getting stuck on is levels of effort and, you know, just, yeah, dishes seems to be the thing that ends up coming up a lot. So dishes. Okay. I want you to focus your commentary to that person with I statements. When the human mind, when the brain hears I feel, I think, I need, I want, they lower their defenses. The brain lowers the defenses. When the brain hears you this, you that, you don't, you didn't, the brain immediately gets emotionally activated and your amygdala starts to trigger fight or flight. We don't want you statements. We want I statements. I am, I feel, I need, I want. Okay. So with the dishes, I need ... the dishes to always be put directly into the dishwasher. And when that happens, it will calm my anxiety. Because these are the 3 parts to that I statement. When I was growing up, I hated having to do the dishes and I was the only one who ever did them. And I have nightmares about piles of dishes. So I need the dishes in the dishwasher to reduce my anxiety. Does that make sense? That's a clarifying question at the end to make sure that the person knows that you are partnering with them to talk about it. Okay. All right, great. That's an I statement. I don't want to hear, you never do the dishes. You never put them in the dishwasher. You always leave that knife with peanut butter on the edge of the sink. None of that. No you statements. It's going to put the other person on the defensive. Okay. Cool. You with me? All right. Number 5, 555, stay on topic. We have a tendency to want to have an important conversation about X, and then we get all hyped up and emotionally activated, and then we talk about Y and Z. Stop doing that. Stop it. No whataboutism, no deflection. Don't try to keep score. Just stay on topic. Make it about the topic and not the person. Make it about the issue and not the character or the value or the worth of the person. Assuming positive intent means both of you are walking into this conversation, understanding that you love each other, you respect each other, and the goal is to resolve this topic. Okay? All right. Number 6, practice curiosity. Why do I say practice curiosity instead of be curious? Because when you be curious, that comes across a lot of different ways. And it's also an out for people to just say, nah, forget it. I'm not really going to be curious. Practicing curiosity means approaching this whole conversation with, tell me more about that. Notice my body language. Notice I leaned in. Notice I'm paying attention. My eyes are forward. And I said, tell me more, That is practicing curiosity. Instead of responding to somebody with, oh my God, how could you say that? That isn't practicing curiosity. That sounds instigating. That sounds inflammatory. It sounds accusatory, right? That's not practicing curiosity. Practicing curiosity is keeping your voice neutral, keeping your tone even, keeping your cadence fairly slow. You don't want to be talking really fast because that really agitates a lot of people and it gets people a lot of emotionally activated. We don't want that. Practicing curiosity means keeping everything even keeled and wanting to learn more from what the person's saying. Okay? All right. 7, don't judge the answers that come out of their mouth. Chances are, most people, when you talk to them, they have mental diarrhea. The stuff just starts coming out of their mouth and they're not really sure what they mean. Sometimes people need to talk it out. Some people need to think it out. Some people need to talk it out. I need to talk it out. That's me. So when you say something to someone or you ask them, why did you do X, Y, and Z, or why did this happen in this way? Let them answer and don't judge the answer. Let them get it all out first. And then you can move on to step number 8. Okay. So don't judge people's answers immediately. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It makes you look judgy. We don't want to make you look judgy. We want to make you look like a rock star. Okay. All right. You ready? Number 8. Number 8. Ask clarifying questions. What does a clarifying question sound like? It sounds like this. Huh. Tell me more about that. Or how did that feel for you? Or what do you feel when that happens? Or what was your response when that happened? Or what part do I play in that? Or how do you envision moving forward? Feel free to write all these down. Okay. Those phrases are neutral, they're open, they're welcoming, and they actually invite, with curiosity, they invite the other person to share more. That's the goal, right? Unless you're some weird sadistic psycho that just wants to antagonize people, you're not having this conversation to piss people off. You're having it to help each other connect more. So asking clarifying questions of, did that happen recently? Was that a long time ago? Who was involved in that? Things that help them open up and tell their stories. That is a way to build rapport. All right, number 9. Here we go. Number 9. Best ways to respond when the other person is giving you their information and telling their story. So you're talking about the dishes. They're telling you a story about when they were little and they were the only ones who ever did the dishes ever. You can respond with neutral, brief phrases without cutting them off and making them lose their train of thought. For people who are neurodivergent like me, this may be difficult for you because you may want to chime in and tell your story so that you can relate to them. Try to avoid that. Let them have their soapbox, let them have their moment. But you can pepper the conversation with some small short phrases like, I see. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, uh-huh. Really? Wow. So then what happened? Gotcha. That makes sense. Those are all affirming statements and they show that you're paying attention, but it doesn't mean you're cutting them off and preventing them from speaking. All right. Last one, number 10. Number 10. The number 10 secret to instantly shifting your communication when you're having an important talk with someone is begin and end with gratitude. I know this is completely foreign to the way society teaches us to be, but I'm telling you, it works. What you're going to do is begin and end with a gratitude practice. Again, hand on heart, hand on belly, take your 3 breaths. But even before you do that, literally take the person's hands, look them in the eye, and say, thank you so much for being willing to talk to me. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you being here to talk to me. I know it might be hard. Yes, this is really awkward if you've never done a gratitude practice before. But guess what? Do it anyway. If you don't get into the habit of practicing gratitude, it's going to be awkward forever. So just get over it and just keep doing it. That's it. Those are the top 10 secrets. Now, I want you to ask me questions. We've still got another 5 minutes before my Zoom runs out. So let's go. Ask me your questions.